right, man. Let's talk about Trajan Langdon and what he's done so far. I think he's done a tremendous job this offseason. I think it got to be said. And obviously, we won't know how the job is done or how it will look until they get to the regular season. But I think he, and I'll talk about this in a separate video. Excuse me. Beard all matted down. I had to pick it out. I'll talk about this in a separate video, but I think he's hit the objective of making the team better around Cade Cunningham. I think he's done that. Surrounded him with capable guys. They brought back the Simone guy from Utah. They got, I think he had like a foot surgery or something, or injury. But, he played well, stretched the floor, shoot it. Tim Hardaway, stretch the floor, shoot it. Don't need the basketball. Malik Beasley can defend, stretch the floor, shoot it. Tobias can defend, stretch the floor, shoot it. Now, at the end of the day, they've done this before. They've surrounded Cade Cunningham with guys that can stretch the floor and shoot it. The problem with those guys like Alec Burks and guys like Bojanovic, the problem is they need the ball to be effective. That's where Troy Weaver, messed up at. Those guys needed the ball to be effective. So they need the ball to be effective. Bojanovic, yeah, he can catch and shoot, but he like having the ball and going to get his own shot. Alec Burks like having the ball in his hand. And lost, for a little, insert real quick, get off topic. I think that's why some of these guys wasn't that good that we thought was gonna be good. Like OJ Mayo, he was solid. Found his way out the league. Tyreek Hill, not Tyreek Hill, but Tyreek Evans, that was his name, out of Memphis. Some of these dudes, man, it's and that was early on. Some of these guys can't play without the basketball in America. I think that's the biggest issue that is not talked about in American basketball, is about how these guys lack the ability to play without the basketball. When they get to the NBA and they can't dominate the basketball and they not LeBron or they don't got the keys to the franchise like Cade Cunningham, they tend to struggle off the ball. So nobody's working without the ball, moving and catching off screens, knowing how to play the game. And I think that was the issue with Bojanovic and Burks. It was hard to implement them with Cade and Ivy because they all needed the ball. Now you got guys that, I don't want to say they can't create their own shot, but, they all right with Cade or Ivy or Sasser or Shore or guys creating shots for them. Instead of saying, I need the ball, and, now they can just space the floor, cut, post, do what they need to do to get a bucket. So it's going to be interesting to see how these rotations look. I feel like there is another trade on the horizon to dump a few of these guys somewhere else and possibly bring somebody else in. But Trajan Langdon's done a tremendous job of surrounding these guys, not just Cade Cunningham, with a lot of young guys, with guys who are veterans who've been around the block and who can do things that they cannot do, which is shoot the basketball and not be ball dominant. So they're a lot better on paper, and I don't really think it's any excuse for Cade Cunningham. And obviously DeMar DeRozan, I believe, got traded to. I read he got traded to Sacramento. So if you're looking, you could add some more stuff to the sauce at this point. I'm not sure if you would need to. We start acting about a possible DeAndre Hunter trade or something like that. But Ingram trade, that'd be interesting. I don't where that is now. I hear Utah, Utah, and what was another team? The Hawks. Also, Lauri Markkanen, you hear some noise about him, and the noise about Lauri Markkanen is, for the most part right now, it's Golden State or somebody else. So I felt that was a target that the Lions should have got. The Pistons should have got, was try to get Lauri Markkanen. But at the end of the day, man, tremendous talent on the Pistons now. And I think the difference with talent is, Troy Weaver got guys that need the basketball to be effective, and it really just didn't work. Now you got guys that don't need the basketball to be effective. They can space the floor, stretch the floor. And I'll be interested to see in the rotations of what he do. I like what he did with Ron Hollins. Ain't no rush really to play right now for him. He can come off the bench, give you a jolt of energy, a Shore Thompson, you know. So you got so many different lineups you can play with those in there. Let's say you want to go with a Shore and Ron Hollins. They both are good at handling the ball and distributing. You can go 1-2 at the 2 and the 3. You go in there and throw Sasser in there. He can shoot. You keep Tobias in there. He can stretch the floor. You know what I'm saying? So now at this point, they need a guy, you know, a big that can now, you know, balance out Jalen Duren and be able to stretch the floor and shoot the basketball. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Isaiah Stewart can kind of play that guy as a backup center. I think that you can get away with that if that's what you wanted to do. But if you can get a guy that can, a big fella that can stretch that floor out with Jalen Duren, that'd be very, very interesting. So, I'm not sure who all available as far as that, you know, those type of guys. But, you know, right now you still got Stewart. So you probably will be looking for one more bigger body out there. You know, you can find those JaVale McGee's type guy, type of veteran guy that can come in and give you a few good minutes or whatever. But obviously, I think the job isn't done for Langdon. I think you're going to see another trade come in. I think also, you know, that trade may involve a big fella. You know, it may involve another wing. You might see wings moved. So we'll see. But I think if anything, it's going to involve probably another wing or another center, a center for sure. And some, you know, you probably see some guys move. But in my opinion, only thing they're probably really missing is if they want another big fella, to be honest. But if they did want to go for Brandon Ingram, I mean, I would understand it. But handing that money to him and invested with over $400 million between him and Cade Cunningham, and neither one of them have a proven track record. Neither one of them has a proven track record for staying healthy. I understand the thought about it. And somebody made a great comment about Tarzan Langdon and Brandon Ingram. He said if anybody knows what Brandon Ingram's worth is, or you know his value is, it's Tarzan Langdon. So I think that was a really good comment. I think that's true. If anybody knew his worth, it's him. You know, but yeah, like I said before, I think that's it's interesting right there, and like I continue to say, man, I think it's a good move for the Pistons, man, to go out there and you know, get Langdon. Like he know what he's doing. He knew the objective was. And you know, I think he came through and only time will tell, and didn't have that much time. You know what I'm saying? So he had to get coaches, get familiar with the draft, because he went from scouting, you know, he said I think from 15 to 30 something in the first round to scouting in a heartbeat for the top 5 pick. Now it would have been a little bit easier had they got the number 1 pick, yeah, but you know, like I was telling y'all, man, I seen Ron Hollins number 1 on the board. Early in the draft process, so he was doing something right. So I don't know how much typically changed from now. But hey, it is what it is. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Peace.